right, there you have it.
Hey guys, I'm Nate with Spotter Up, and today we're taking a look at the single stack carry gun from Atlas Gunworks. This is the Nix. So the first question in a gun that's designed as a carry gun is, how does it carry? I've been carrying this gun for several weeks now in the same configuration, and I'm here to tell you this gun carries just like any other gun. I carry it right up against my skin, underneath the t-shirt, and as long as you wear clothes that fit, you use a good holster and a good belt, no one's gonna know the gun's there but you. If you're used to carrying a gun, it's not gonna be any different. It carries really well. It conceals really well. Getting into the accuracy of this gun, I'll be the first person to tell you that mechanically, this gun is capable of more than I am as a shooter. And I'm confident in saying that's true of most of the people who are gonna get their hands on this gun. Having a more mechanically accurate weapon is definitely in your benefit, so that's a good thing, not a bad thing. I didn't put this on a ransom rest at 25 yards and shoot a bunch of strings to show you 1.5-inch groups. I feel pretty confident this gun will do that. But in my testing, I shot everywhere from 3 yards all the way out to 20 yards. You're looking at some of those groups right now, and I had absolutely acceptable accuracy shooting those strings. This gun shot really well for me, and it's gonna shoot really well for you. All right, so next up, after we talk about accuracy, is reliability, because everybody wants a reliable gun when we're talking duty grade guns or self-defense guns. This gun has run really well for me. I can say it's been pretty reliable. The asterisk next to that is magazine related. So for the first 2,000 rounds, I had a couple old magazines, and I had failure to feeds with those magazines. I called Adam at the shop, talked to him a little about the issue. He told me that these guns actually ship with Dawson magazines, and he sent me a couple for the rest of the review. Since I've gotten those Dawson magazines, I've had absolutely no problems. The guns run really, really, really well. So with good magazines, this gun is absolutely reliable enough for carry or duty if that's something that you're looking for. So now that we've talked a little bit about accuracy and reliability and comfort in carry, we're gonna go into the shop and take a closer look at some of the details that make this gun special. All right, so diving right into the gun. First thing we wanna do, as always, is we wanna make sure that the gun is clear. We're gonna lock the slide of the rear, visually inspect, slide forward, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the hammer forward. So now that we've checked that block for all the people who care about me checking that block, let's talk about the gun. So what makes the Nix so cool? Starting off, Atlas Gunworks has built a reputation for high quality guns. They hand fit all these guns that come out of their shop. Their quality control is top notch. It's a small shop, but they make amazing stuff, and they've found ways to keep their lead times down to no more than 6 months for the really involved custom guns. But a gun like this that's offered on their website usually ships in about 90 days, which is awesome for custom built guns. All right, so getting into what makes these guns special. We all know that the craftsmanship at Atlas Gunworks is phenomenal, right? But every gun starts life as a box of parts. But the parts matter. It's one of the things that sets great guns apart from average guns. So the parts for this gun that I want to touch on start with the frame and the slide. Both of these start life as government length frames and slides. They're Atlas 4140 carbon steel, and then they get cut to the size that we want. So we wind up with a commander length slide and barrel. We have a government length grip. What that gives us is the gun, it's extremely easy to hold. You put your whole hand on here. It shoots really well. It's great in recoil, but you chop off some of that length at the end, which makes it a lot easier to carry every day, especially if you like to carry in the appendix position, which I do. This makes life a lot easier to cut off that extra little bit of length. Next thing we want to talk about is the barrel. Atlas Gunworks use KK in barrels. They're extremely accurate barrels. They're good, solid, and reliable barrels. Atlas Gunworks takes that and they hand fit it. It's finished to match the gun, and then they put a target crown on here which is a really beautiful work of craftsmanship. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It blends right in. Other thing to note is this gun is a bull barrel. If you call up to Atlas Gunworks and you want a bushing gun, they'll build you a bushing gun. I have a bushing gun from Atlas Gunworks. They'll build it for you if you want it, but these come standard as bull barrel guns. Moving on down here to the grip, we're looking at a magazine well and grips from Techwell. So those are cut to match in and blend in right with that mag well perfectly. And then the front and the back straps are checkered at 20 lines per inch, which gives you a pretty good texture. The gun's extremely grippy. It's not going to move in your hand. Even if you got sweaty hands, the gun's not going anywhere. That being said, I've been carrying this gun for a couple weeks, and it's yet to tear my clothes. It hasn't torn my skin up. So it's all the grip you need, but it's not too much grip that it's causing problems. All right, and then sitting on top of the gun, we're looking at Atlas proprietary rear sight, which has a nice tall ledge, which would aid in one-handed manipulations. If you're in that situation, you can run this off a desk, off a car, off a belt, off a shoe, pretty much anything that will grip it, you can run the cycle to slide that way. And then the front side on these are Dawson's. Again, if you want to change those out and you want to put fibers on the front or something else, if you give Atlas Gunworks a call, they'll probably make it happen for you.
All right, so we wanted to get the camera in here close to show you some of the detail in the machining of this gun. If you look at the slide's really cool. First and foremost, right up top, you've got a tri-cut slide. I really like the way they look. Some people have an argument that the tri-cut helps point their eyes towards the target. I'm of the school of thought that that's what the sights are for, but whatever floats your boat. Also on top is this U-cut. Atlas does this on a lot of their guns. They have another cut in the back that they offer, but this is their kind of go-to. This is a way to take some mass out of the slide, which helps with the way the gun cycles. And then if you look at the side of the slide, this is where their machining really shines. These pockets are deep. They have texture inside of them, which is very cool looking, but it also gives you a lot of purchase for manipulating the slide. If you have sweaty hands, muddy hands, bloody hands, whatever the situation may be, you're going to be able to hold on to this and manipulate this gun. And then one of the other things I want to show you up close is the rear sight. It's got a really aggressive ledge, which, like I said before, would make one-handed manipulations easy. And then it is serrated in the back, which will help with glare on sunny days and make those sights pop a little bit easier. One other thing to highlight is you will notice that these have different triggers. This is flat and this is round. Atlas Gunworks offers a couple different triggers. You can choose between the curved or the flat. You can choose different colors, and they also come in different lengths. They offer small, medium, and long lengths. So that gives you a little bit more customization for your personal preferences and your shooting styles. You'll also notice that this gun has a fiber optic front sight. If you want to put that on a Nix, all you have to do is ask, and they'll make that happen for you. Another interesting difference between these guns that I just want to highlight since this gun is out is if you look at the slide stop. On the single stack, you have a more traditional slide stop that sticks out, is protruded from the frame a little bit. On a double stack, it's actually countersunk, and that sits flush. That's because the frame on a double stack is a little bit wider, so there's extra material there for that to happen. And what that looks like on the other side of the gun is on the double stack version, it will actually sit flush. On the single stack version, it will protrude a little bit. Some people like this, some people don't. If this bothers you aesthetically and you want it to look more like this, if you ask, they'll make it happen. That's one of the great things about ordering from Atlas Gunworks is they build custom guns and they'll change whatever you want to change if you're willing to pay for it. full disclosure. A perk of this sticking out is it makes taking the gun down a lot easier because you don't need a punch or a pin to get that moving. You can actually just mash on that with your finger. Like so. And then it'll come right out. So this gun is a breeze to take down because you can just mash on that. And while we're here, this gun doesn't require any further tools to take down. You give it a little bit of pressure on the spring. The spring will come out with the guide rod. It is a flat wire spring. These don't come with any kind of shock buff or anything. If that's something you want to add, you probably can. Pull out the plug. And the barrel pulls right out the front. And you have all the good stuff broken down right there. It's that easy. All right, so now that the gun is reassembled, we're going to take a look at the trigger. Atlas advertises these guns with a trigger between 3 and 4 pounds. And then everybody knows that 1911 triggers feel good because they travel on a straight line. We're going to check that pull weight and see where it's coming in. Get our handy dandy lineman. Put this where you guys can see it. And we're looking at 3 pounds, just at 3 pounds, 0.2 ounces. So we'll go ahead and do that again. There's usually a little bit of variation press to press, but it shouldn't be very much. So we're looking at 2 pounds and 15.6 ounces, which is right again at 3 pounds. We'll give it one more. Since it's coming in around 3 pounds, we'll give it 3 presses. And that one was 3 pounds, 2.5 ounces. So again, pretty close to 3 pounds. All right. This gun is just night and day different. The trigger is amazing. It's very smooth. I don't know if you can tell with the lineman, but we'll take another look at this. Let's see if we can get up close. So that's all the travel that you get before the wall. Okay. Let me, and then for the reset, that's it. Show you that one more time. It's almost so little reset, it's hard for me to show you with my fat fingers. And the trigger on this gun is amazing. Okay guys, so all good things must come to an end. So too must this review. Appreciate you taking the time to watch. This gun's amazing. If you're in the market for a single stack gun, for an EDC gun, if you can afford it, I highly recommend this gun. It shoots really, really well. It's run really well for me. It conceals good if you've got a good holster. It's a phenomenal piece. Yes, it's expensive, but it's worth it. If you have any questions, if you are interested in an Atlas Gunworks, go check out their website. They've got a pretty good breakdown of their offerings and some of the things you can change on those offerings. They also do custom builds. If you have questions or you don't see something that you're interested in, call the shop or send an email. Kat manages all of that stuff. She's really helpful, and she'll get you squared away, get you taken care of, get you set up with whatever you need. Of course, shameless plugs. Spotterup.com. Apparel like the shirt I'm wearing. There's over 2,000 articles on that website. They range from gear reviews all the way up through PTSD,
and even some combat psychology type stuff. We also have podcasts, so you can look for those on SoundCloud, also on YouTube and iTunes. And if you're in the El Paso area, swing by Sportsman's Elite. Great store, phenomenal staff. If you need anything for shooting, swing by, check them out, and they'll get you squared away. All right, thanks again, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe.